Welcome to the Leaner Stronger podcast. Today I'm going to talk you through why you need a training plan and how you can build one. But before we go on, if you do like this podcast / YouTube video, whatever you're watching this on, it'd be great if you could write a review, tell me your thoughts, or shoot me an email and let me know if there's anything you think you'd like to hear about, or what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. Because I'd love to be adaptive to this. So let's get to it. Hello there. So I thought I'd jump in today and talk about why you need a training plan and kind of help you build it out in a way. Give you some rough pointers as to how, kind of what it should look like, so to say. And when I say training plan, to kind of clear this up straight away, you might think it's a strict regime that needs to be followed exactly to the T all the time. Now, unless you've got a very time specific goal and a lot of training to do in a very short space of time, it doesn't need to necessarily be followed exactly. So that, because I spoke about previously, having some wiggle room and some flexibility. So when I say training plan, this is built with some flexibility for life and other things. Okay, so don't mistake me for going, right, well, if I've planned to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I miss a day, plan's finished, done. There's no point, it's a rubbish plan. Because then if that's the case with the plan you're following, then it's probably not a very good plan. So a training plan is kind of what it says on the tin, right? It's something for you to follow over time to get to a goal. That's the idea of it. It's been purpose built to get you somewhere, away from where you are now, ideally positively so. And it comes with many benefits because we'll talk through it, because they're important to understand why you bother having a plan. Because a lot of people go to the gym and just kind of float around. They kind of do the things they really like to do, which is absolutely fine, but a lot of the time it comes with biases of focusing on one area of the body part, or one area of the body, more so than the other. Which is fine, but sometimes it can be too much of a certain something where you probably could do with other parts of the body to actually help strengthen your favourite parts. It can take, for example, a lot of fellas like to work their chests, they like to do their bench presses, etc., and have a big chest, but they could be missing out on a stronger chest, a bigger chest, by not working their back or the posterior side of their body so much. And likewise, not to stereotype, because blokes definitely should be doing this as well, but women like to work on their glutes. And they work on their glutes so much, but they might take away from their quads or hamstrings, and they're looking for maybe a more shapely leg, but then it's just their bum that grows. And they could be missing out on these things. Two very, very small examples, but one of the benefits that I think the training plan kind of really brings to you, and a massive reason why you should have one, is because of the structure it brings to the training. It takes away the energy from you mentally to have to turn up to the gym and then have to think on your feet. If you've had a long day at work, for example, and you're training in the evening and you're just feeling knackered, the last thing you want to be doing is going to the gym and thinking, right, what do I need to train today? What have I done on the other days this week so that I'm getting a decent training stimulus and training routine in for the rest of this week? By having it written down, ready, done for you before you walk into the gym, you can literally get in there and put all your energy into actually attacking the session and having a great quality session. And obviously, you'll then also have the confidence in the plan because it's been built specifically for your goal, at least it should be. You know that whatever you're doing in the gym has a reason as well. You're not just going on the chest press machine because it's free and you know how to do it. You're going on it because you know, right, I want a bigger chest, so I need to get some chest stimulus in there. So I'm gonna have a good set for a few sets on there, do my bits, move on to the next exercise. So the structure can be super handy in that sense. Another really key benefit, which is really big for the long term in terms of changing your body shape, size, strength, everything to do with exercise, is the progression aspect. If we don't progress, we don't move anywhere. So that's why we do this stuff, is to progress and move forwards and achieve more than we did yesterday or the week before or the year before. And over time, because you can see your plan in front of you with the numbers, the exercises, where you started, what you did last week, etc. Every time you turn up to the gym, because you've got that structure at hand already, don't need to think about it, you've also written down what you achieved last week, unless it's the first week of your training, but that's when you figure out what your numbers are. And you know to try, you have numbers to aim for. You're not just aimlessly going, right, I'll just do it till I can't do anymore, or I can't, I lose count, or I get bored. You have set numbers. So if one of your goals, for example, was to get stronger this year, and say, for example, you went in and you did a squat and you did 45 kg squat for 6 reps, you know next week that you either need to do 50 kilos squat for 6 reps-ish to know that you've progressed from last week, or you could do that same 45 kg squat for 8 reps and you've progressed by 2 reps. And if you keep doing this session by session, week by week, and it's called progressive overload for those that may not have heard the term. It is literally just loading yourself, and when I say load, it's more fighting against resistance, i.e. the weights on the machines, over time. So just trying to progress that over time, little progressions. We're not looking for massive progressions really, really shortly. Because if you want some longevity in this, where you keep your joints healthy, muscles and tendons healthy and stuff, taking time with these things to allow the body to adapt is crucial. And then over time, if we're constantly looking to progress, the chances are we are going to progress in one way, shape or another. And if progression stalls at any point for a few weeks or more, that's when we can be looking to adapt the program. It's not then that you are now at your ceiling of progression. It might just mean that the training plan might need to be adapted slightly to freshen things up slightly, But there's no reason why you can't have some of the same exercises for a year, 2 years, 3 years. If you can keep progressing on it, that can happen, So there's a lot of talk out there about having to have brand new exercises every 2 months because the body gets bored or becomes stale with all the exercises. So you have to change all your exercises every couple of months, and that's not really true. It can happen at times for certain exercises, but not necessarily every exercise needs to change every couple of months, which allows consistency as well, so you can get better techniques. So progression can come in the form of technique as well. So again, it's another one of those where you may feel like you're stalling because the weights you're being able to lift are not increasing, or the number of repetitions you're doing may not go up. But again, look at the technical side. Are you lifting with better technique than you were previous? If yes, that is improvement, that is progression, that is a benefit that you're getting from your training right now, which will only help you out in the future as well. When you come back to these things and lift again, you'll be more efficient. So progression is massive. It's a massive reason why to have a training plan. Another, I suppose, based with tracking, based with progression is tracking, because having this program here in front of you allows you to track your progress and basically the sessions week by week. You have the exercises, you have the number of sets and reps you do, and then you actually fill in what you've done. So then, like I said a minute ago, when you go into the gym the next session for the same session, you know what numbers you're going in to beat. And it's nice because you can have, I suppose, different forms of tracking in terms of your progress as well. If you're on a fat loss or a muscle gain goal, you might be measuring things like your scale weight, your measurement sizes as well. So alongside all of these numbers, they can start to kind of build this massive picture of your journey. So say, for example, you do have this chest focus and you're looking to build a bigger chest, and you can see that all of your chest exercises are getting stronger and you're managing to do more repetitions over 3 months. And then you do your measurements around your chest. Your chest has got a couple of millimeters thicker, so to say. The numbers are linking up. You know that the program that you've just done has worked really well for the goal of building your chest. Likewise, on the fat loss goal, you might see that you're progressing with some of your exercises in the gym, and then there's certain areas of your body where the body fat's coming off slightly more. So your thighs might now be a couple of millimeters less of the measurements. So the tracking ability is super useful. Again, it means you don't get lost just walking into the gym and guessing. I got this really cool mug for Christmas as well. For those of you that are watching this on camera, it's a picture of a golfer with a headband or headphones on, and it looks a bit like me. I think, anyway. It's not bad. I wish I was as tanned as that. But I digress. The last thing, it's not exclusive to this, but the motivation aspects of a training plan as well. Like I say, you get to save the mental brain power for thinking about what you're going to do in the gym, because the plan's there. You just need to turn up and do it. But also by seeing, if you've got a little bit of a competitive nature about you, you'll see the numbers from last week. You'll know when you're setting up to do your set that you have these numbers to beat. So you can just go and attack them. If you don't, hey, it doesn't matter. We'll move on to next week and have another go. But those numbers are there as a target, and you can set yourself up mentally to be like, right, I'm going to get 9 reps, 10 reps, 1 or 2 more than last week. That's what I'm looking to achieve, and you can be happy with that, and you know that's progress. So I think they are very good benefits of having the training plan there. So then it goes into almost, how do you build this plan? So obviously you can build them yourselves, and I'll talk through some of the things you probably want to consider. Alternatively, that's what coaches do. So if you're looking for a plan, things like that, maybe online coaching, something like some of my clients do, where I'll program all their program for them, have all the exercises, sets and reps planned up. We talk them through it so they know exactly what they need to do with the weeks ahead. And they go and hit the numbers, come back, and we adapt every week and see how they're progressing. And like I say, it's very reactive to how they're feeling, how they've done. So if they're feeling good, and we know we can just push on the next week. If we need to change things, we need to change things. But if you're looking to build a plan yourself, then you want to start off by thinking, how many days a week can you train? What does time allow for? Is it 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week? And like I said at the beginning, you want to build in some flexibility here, because you want to plan for life as well. So if you work a busy job where sometimes you can get called into meetings last minute, you might have to fly away when COVID's out of the way, then don't try and shoot too much. You wanna shoot for consistency, not perfection. Because consistent actions over time will lead potentially to slower results than the perfect, but the perfect rarely happens. So to be consistent over time will more often than not lead to better results. And that's something we see with my clients a lot of the time. They all want to shoot for the best thing ever. They go, how is the best? Well, training however many times a day that works for you is the best. Whatever you can most consistently do. So once you've picked your days, your number of days, you then want to think about how to split up your exercises across the day. So depending on the goal, let's say you just want to build muscle all round and improve your body shape. So you're going to be wanting training all of the body a couple of times a week at least. You know, a lot of the research out there says that to build to build muscle effectively and efficiently, you want to try and train your muscles at least a couple of times a week. Not to say once is bad, but maybe twice or slightly more could be better. And it can lead to less soreness in the immediate vicinity of the trainers as well. So that's really good. The soreness isn't a fabulous indicator, but that's a talk for another time. Now you might see a lot of people that look into bodybuilding for this, they see, should I do back and biceps, chest and triceps, legs, shoulders, abs as individual sessions? But as you can see, if that was a 5-day-a-week split, you'd only be training them once a week. So actually, you might want to think about splitting things in a way where you get to hit most of your target muscles for the month or so, twice a week, for example. There's honestly, if you were to Google this, there's a million different ways you can split up your training. So just finding the way that works for you really is the best thing, so that you can hit everything at least once, and the bits you want to focus on twice. That'd be a good place to start. It could be a bit of a minefield. So this is where genuinely having a coach can be super helpful, because they can do the thinking for you. This is what us coaches train in, in knowing how best to split certain things for an individual in front of us. And we might not even know some exercises that you might not know of. But that's how you can do it either way. If you've ended up doing it yourself, split your exercise up across the week. Probably looking, if you're a beginner, then you're looking just to do a few sets, 3-4 sets of anywhere between 8 and 15 reps of an exercise. Try and total up anywhere between kind of 3 and 10 sets for a muscle group per session, but 10 is for the more advanced generally. So you definitely want to start low. That's one thing I will say, is when you start up a training plan, especially if it's your first time, you want to start at the lower end of the scale. You want to try and see what the bare minimum is that you can do and still progress from. So say, for example, you wanted to improve your squats across 10 weeks. You would start with maybe just 2 sets of squats. See how your body feels the next day or two. If there's a lot of soreness, you've done enough. Maybe too much. If there's no soreness at all, your body may be able to handle more, depending on what you do on the other days. Obviously, you have to assess this soreness as you go on week by week. And across the week, across your multiple training sessions. So if quality doesn't drop across the week, then you might be able to add another set onto a couple of things the week after. And then you micromanage every week. You reflect on how the week's gone, how your body's felt, and you can go onwards like that. And then it's just a case, once you've kind of got your plan in place, it's then just a case of go and action it. Like I say, reflect every week, see how it's gone, adapt as you go by, and you'll be well and truly on your way with progression and the training plan. So that's kind of it. I'll stop waffling on about training plans and how to set one up. Hopefully you've got some bits and bobs there that you can go away with and start to create your training plan and have something in place. If you do go away and do it by yourself and you want someone to check it over, by all means shoot me an email, shoot it over to me, and I'll be more than happy to critique it for you and offer any advices I have on what you've done so far. And if this has been a useful podcast, video, whatever medium you're watching this on or listening to me on, I'd love to hear your feedback as always. It'd be great if you could write a review, or if you're on the podcast, and spread the word. I'd love to get this podcast out there to help more people with their training and become more successful across 2021. See you later.